Good afternoon, I'm Ding Yang with the CGTN Digital. I'm standing in the Diaoyutai State Guest House, and the event here is the China Development Forum. It's a higher ranking forum about the future development of the Chinese economy, and in this meeting hall, the event in about 5 minutes is going to be about 5G, like the sentence on the screen says, embracing the era of 5G. And this is our first live stream about this event, about the China Development Forum. So I'll read you out some very brief introduction about this forum I got from the event's website. The CDRF, China Development Forum, is hosted by the Development Research Center of the State Council of Chinese government and organized by China Development Research Foundation. And the CDRF is committed to engaging with the world for common prosperity. It is an annual conference held the weekend right after the conclusion of the two sessions, namely those of the National People's Congress and the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference. This year, the 20th CDF will be held at the Diaoyutai State Guest House in Beijing on 23rd to 25th March 2019. And that's the information I got from China Development Forum's official website. And now people are pouring in this very small meeting hall. Actually, I'm not even sure later I can find a seat myself. And various language has been spoken here, and the discussion later on the stage, the guests have not arrived, but the discussion is going to be about 5G. And for this discussion, the panelists include a deputy minister from China's Industry and Information Technology. He will deliver a speech. There may be a few points in the speech that could give away government policy privileges, and which are worth flagging. Other panelists also include Yang Yuanqing, who is the boss of Lenovo, the world's leading PC maker, and the Director General of GCMA Global System for Mobile Communications. And he is also present here. And the event is going to last for about an hour, and the procedure is the panelists will talk about a few points. Later, the invited guests, journalists not included, the invited professional guests, they will raise up a few questions and answered by the panelists, and that is the basic procedure later. And the whole event will be live streamed on CGTN or digital platforms. Because the event is the language spoken will be Chinese, but we present you a simultaneous translated version of the event. Well, talking about the CDF, because I just mentioned it follows immediately after China's two sessions, so it's the most important political event on China's political calendar, and the event is about legislation and about government policy and regulation. And the reason the CDF is such a highbrow event is follows a national political event of two sessions is because the Chinese government needs communication between its officials and the industry's leaders, as well as all the practitioners and observers outside China. Because a lot of policies and laws have been decided upon during the two sessions and held in Beijing from March 5th all the way to 15th. And the market players, market practitioners of certain areas and the observers of China, they need to understand the impact of those changes of law and change of policies. And this forum, the China Development Forum, provides such a platform on which such changes can be discussed. And from the Chinese government point of view, they need to know the impact of the changes, and if the market practitioners or the practitioners in the field, if they can understand those changes, or if they can react the way that the government would want, they react to those policy changes or law changes. And in the meantime, the people in the field, they need to understand thoroughly what government wants with those changes of law and policies, and this is the perfect moment for them to have this discussion face to face, to understand each other thoroughly. And well, because today's forum is about 5G, so maybe it's helpful for us to bear in mind a few points about this technology. The 5G is also known, well, And today, I think nowadays the 5G is the more popular term for it. Actually, its full name is the fifth generation technology for communication. And well, no, we can. The seriousness of this event can be told from the guests, the members of the panelists walking in and how they dress. All the men and women in suits. Well, about 5G, well, just a simple points to recount here, so that we can have something with us, bear in mind throughout the discussion. Well, 5G it's mainly about a faster data transmitting and faster connections and faster access to data storage of a cloud. And faster definitely is the keywords. Oh, there's keywords here. Oh, now we can find out. We can see all the guests have been seated and they're ready for the discussion. And now a little rain. I think I will bring to the end. I will bring to the end of this little brief introduction to today's panelist discussion around 5G technology, and I will hear out of the whole event. I will draw on a few points from the discussions, and at the end of this discussion, I will recount all those points that I've drawn down by then, and hopefully we can find a few guests to talk to about the important issues mentioned during the forum. Okay, so now I think the discussion is about to get started. I will ask my colleague in the studio to cut the whole thing to the signal. Well, unfortunately for this forum, it's not transmitted via 5G, but anyway, what is important to know about this technology? Let's find out. I'm Ding Yang, I'm in Beijing, Diaoyutai State Guest House, live. I'll see you in an hour.
Very delighted that you have come here to participate into this parallel forum of embracing the era of 5G. We know that for today, we have discussed information and technology in this conference hall. We have talked about digital economy to some extent. Digital economy has changed many of our manufacturing, consumption, as well as mindset. And 5G, the era has arrived, and this era has laid the foundation for the connectivity of all the things. We know that for 2019, some say it is the first year of 5G era. Why? Because for June 2018, we had the first ever standard of 5G technology. And in Spain, the World Congress of Mobile, all enterprises have rolled out their prototypes of 5G technology. Major countries have rolled out their strategy for 5G development. And for Beijing, we have 2019 to 2020 strategy of 5G development. 5G has been developing from a concept and prototype to the actual use in our daily life. And for Xinhua News Agency, covering the 2 sessions, we have been using the 5G technology. And the era has come, but are we prepared? Are our industrial chains prepared? And for the related technologies, related marketing infrastructure and scenario, as well as supporting policies and measures, are we prepared? And for what areas will we prioritize? And in what scenarios and scenes will be the most attractive and fastest growing area of 5G generation? So we are very delighted to have invited 5 important experts in this area, and they will have a discussion on this issue. And the first one is the Chief Economist, Mr. Wang Xinzhe from the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology. Second, let's welcome Mr. Sanjay Mehrotra, President and CEO of Micron Technology. And people know that the U.S. enterprises, as well as Micron, is a leader in terms of this aspect. And thirdly, we will welcome the Chairman and CEO of Lenovo, Yang Yuanqing. We also welcome the Director General of GSMA, Mas Granrit. And we welcome the President of China Electronics Technology Group, Mr. Wu Manqing. He's also an academician of China Engineering Academy and also a top expert in this respect. Let's welcome them with a warm round of applause. And later on, we will welcome Mr. Wang Xinzhe for the sharing. Dear leaders, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm very delighted to participate in China Development Forum 2019 and to discuss with you the issues concerning development. First, on behalf of MIIT, I'd like to extend our congratulations to this forum, and we also want to extend our gratitude to your attention and concern on China's development. And 5G is regarded as an important topic for this forum, and it shows that the whole society has been paying a close attention to 5G technology. It also shows the important role and status of 5G in economy and society. 5G is an epoch-making technology, and it will establish a foundation for the connectivity from online to offline, from consumption to manufacturing, from platforms to the ecology. 5G will offer a strong boost to economic and social development, as well as improving people's livelihood. 5G will also contribute beneficially to people's production and lives. And first, 5G will add to a new driving force for the economy. 5G will establish a high-speed, mobile, and secure infrastructure for technology and information. And 5G will promote the information industry to expand in a systematic and standardized way. For technology and information services, we will have the full industrial chain development. And 5G will contribute to manufacturing, transportation, agriculture, and service sector. And these applications will facilitate the alignment of the physical world and the digital world. And this process will help with the digitalization, internet-oriented development, and smart development of the real economy. And this process will invigorate new business models and new business plannings. And 5G, secondly, will support new development of the smart society. It has offered a substantial technology support. We will combine 5G with industrial IoT, cloud computing, AI, as well as other technologies. We can see the convergence and development So we can have the convergence of development in terms of transportation, electronics, electricity, healthcare, commerce, and education. We have smart driving, smartphone, automatic payment, smart healthcare, and long-distance education. These kind of new models will accelerate in emerging, and the social management and service level will be enhanced. We will transform the society to a smart future. And third, we will expand the definition of the livelihood of people. It will help we align the platforms with people's real life. We will have long-distance development. We will share the resources and expand public services supply. And we will substantially improve the coverage of basic public services, and we will make these services more equitable. We will make all services to the people more inclusive, and we will narrow the digital gap between the rural and urban area and between different groups. 5G will apply to home services, healthcare, and entertainment, and this will provide us with more diversified information services and products, and this will offer more convenience to people's daily lives, and we will have better experience in your lives. And people's demand for a better life will be better met. And for the Chinese government, we attach great importance to the development of 5G. In recent years, we have been working in building the platform of research, and we have been enhancing policy support. We also enhance international cooperation. We participate in the drafting of international standards, and we will have the trial and experiment for the 5G technology. So we want to explore new applications, and we will have trial and pilot operation. We will accelerate the commercialization of 5G technology. With domestic and international effort, we have undertaken this process in a steady manner with accumulating progress. And we can also see that for China's commercialization, we still face a lot of challenges in the following two aspects. One, 5G industrial application need to be enhanced, and we need to also deepen our integration and coordination in our application of this technology. In general, we can see that China's 5G technology is at a critical juncture. President Xi Jinping in last year's Central Economic Work Conference has mentioned that we need to accelerate the commercialization of 5G technology. MIT, as the responsible department and authority, we will staunchly implement the decision of the central government, and we will initiate the commercialization as soon as possible. So we will enhance the integration of 5G technology, and we will try to deepen the alignment of 5G technology in various aspects of the economic social development. So we will focus on innovation development so that we can contribute to the high-quality growth of the economy, as well as we can contribute to the stability and harmonious development of the society. For the next step, we will focus on the following priorities. First, we will accelerate the deployment and commercialization. We will nurture the industrial chain, and we will initiate the 5G network, and we will establish a high-speed coverage, and we will focus on a smart infrastructure. We will focus on a quality network of 5G, and we will focus on self-innovation, and we focus on the terminal platform and other technologies, so that we can contribute to the comprehensive development of the 5G industry, and so that we can nurture a full industrial chain in this respect. And second, we will serve the economic social development with integration and application. First, we focus on leading technologies and priority industries. We will undertake pilot projects, so we will support 5G application in industrial, internet, smart transportation, smart healthcare, as well as smart agriculture. So we will better align the 5G and the real economy. We will help 5G to apply in education and healthcare. And we will also want to benefit people's sense of accomplishment through 5G. And 3, we will focus on a supporting mechanism. We will have top-down design and forward-looking approach so that we can promote the development of infrastructure and safety measures. So we can tackle the online challenges and cyber challenges brought about by 5G. We will focus on the governance mechanism of online security. So we will explore new methods and mechanisms for multiple stakeholders to jointly govern this kind of development. So we will incorporate the government, the enterprises, and the individuals. And 4th, we will optimize the market ecology and environment. We will research supporting policies so that we can have a shared and inclusive development. We also focus on the security, and we have the coordination of policies in these above-mentioned aspects as well as other aspects. So we will innovate in the application of 5G, and we will strive for an inclusive, prudent, and innovative environment for the 5G technology, so we can have better coverage and strong interaction. So with that, we can have a rapid development in this respect. And 5th, we focus on international cooperation with open ecology. 5G is innovation against globalization. Open development is the necessary path. We will further open and cooperate for mutual benefits so that we will align governments, associations of industry as well as enterprises. So we will establish multi-level international cooperation mechanism so that we will have cooperation in technology, standards, frequency, and application. In this way, we can have an open and sharing ecology for the 5G industry. We also hope that the people from the 5G industry can enhance mutual trust and build consensus so that we can have a transparent, equitable environment for 5G development. So we hope that we can have a positive competition in terms of the industry. So this is what I want to share with you. At last, I want to wish every success to the current forum. Thank you. Thank you. So currently, people talk about competition of 5G, but you have mentioned the 5 priorities of Chinese government, and I'm totally impressed by the last item, especially the cooperation. So we will need to enhance the cooperation in the 5G industry. And for 5G, it will bring the benefit to the whole society and especially the whole human beings through cooperation. Now let's welcome President Sanjay Marotta.
Good afternoon. It is indeed my honor to be here at CDRF for the first time, and would like to congratulate CDRF for the 20th anniversary here. Micron is here for the first time, and I thought I will first give you an introduction to Micron before talking a little bit about 5G. Micron's mission is Micron is a 40-year-old strong company, and we like to say getting stronger. It's on the Fortune 500, number 150 company on Fortune 500, 34,000 strong employees worldwide, and in fiscal year 18, Micron achieved revenues of $30.4 billion. Micron, over the course of its 40-year history, has innovated tremendously and has spent billions of dollars in R&D, actually contributing 40,000 patents over 40 years to the world. So a very innovative company. And what's exciting for us is that markets for our products are memory and storage. The markets for memory and storage, that means DRAM and flash, in the past used to be just about PCs and mobile. And today these markets have expanded to all aspects of technology, from data center to automotive to your smartphone, to your PC, as well as Internet of Things and multitude of devices such as surveillance cameras and others. Memory and storage has become the heart of these kind of technologies and solutions. So these are very exciting times for our industry today, and particularly memory and storage becoming essential to all the experience that these end markets provide to the consumers. I want to point out also our vision. These slides are somewhat not in order, but let me first talk about Micron in China. Micron has been present in China for more than 10 years. We have started our operation in China with manufacturing in Xi'an, in Shanxi province. Today, we also have our R&D center in Shanghai, in Beijing, and Shenzhen, as well as major customer labs are present here in China. But most importantly, we are well engaged with entire ecosystem of customers here, going from smartphones to PCs to the cloud and IoT devices as well. Micron, with 3,000 plus employees here in China, is very much a partner to driving the innovation agenda here in China. This is a market that is extremely important to us. There is a lot of talent here, and we are working on our products and technology and R&D roadmap here as well. Our vision statement is transforming how the world uses information to enrich life. And this vision statement of the company connects very well with the opportunities that 5G presents to us. 5G gives us 5 times lower latency. 5G gives us 100 times greater speed than the prior networks, 4G. And most importantly, 5G, in addition to giving low latency and high performance, really expands the capacity, 1,000 more endpoints leading to Internet of Things type devices. So I would like to talk about 5G, the role it would play in terms of transforming our lives, in terms of life, business, as well as health. These are the 3 areas I would like to focus on. In terms of life, we were all, and many of us were at Mobile World Congress, and there were phones introduced. Every phone was introduced with 5G features. 5G is not just evolutionary, it is revolutionary. The essence of 5G is that it makes access to data fast, but it also creates opportunities for a lot more data creation. It will unleash new models for businesses and new experiences for consumers worldwide. When we think about life, everybody is so dependent on smartphones today. The smartphones with 5G kind of connectivity, just imagine the possibilities. You will be able to watch a game live from a stadium on your phone, 360-degree view, multiple angles of that game available to you on your phone, live from the stadium. And while you're watching the game, you can also do a 4K resolution video chat with a friend. All of this then requires more memory and more storage inside the phone. In terms of life, 5G really would enable features, autonomous features in the cars like we don't know today, but we only imagine them. Imagine autonomous vehicles, how much impact they will make on the life of the elderly, the handicapped, in terms of providing them the mobility. Lives would be saved with autonomous vehicles in the future. It's estimated that 1.25 million lives are lost in the world every year because of traffic accidents. Autonomous vehicles will really eliminate some of those kind of challenges. But autonomous vehicles or increasingly autonomous features over the course of next few years in the vehicles would just not be possible without the connectivity that 5G provides. Connectivity with other vehicles as well as with the smart grid in the cities, and it truly is all about enabling a very safe experience in those vehicles in the future. So whether it is in your smartphones or it is through autonomous features in your cars, 5G will really unleash the kind of experience that we have only imagined so far in science fiction. Talking about 5G in business, 5G will enable billions of and tens of billions of devices worldwide faster connectivity, low latency. It has the capacity to be able to absorb tens of billions of devices all across the world. So examples would be around machine-to-machine communication that just has not been possible with the prior networks. Just imagine within factories, machines learning from each other, machines being able to predict their challenges, when they would go down, predictive analytics, big data analytics, machines able to learn from the experience of other machines in other remote factories in terms of understanding their own challenges. So this is a huge opportunity in terms of the business. And of course, precision farming, another example where drones, tractors, sensors will in the future at some point in fact be able to lead to managing the crops in the farms, managing the yields, managing plant by plant, how much fertilizer is needed, how much water is needed. So many opportunities for businesses all across the industries that 5G will enable. That will be possible with 5G and artificial intelligence together. And if in the world today, if the compute is the brain of AI, and if 5G is the nervous system, data is the blood, memory and storage is very much at the heart of these trends. Because all of this big data that will be created by billions of devices, it has to be analyzed, it has to be processed fast. That all happens in memory and storage devices, the kind that Micron makes. And then it provides deeper insight for the experiences for human life as well as for businesses. And lastly, example of health. Just imagine that in the future, remote surgery would be possible, leveraging the trends of AI as well as 5G. Imagine precision health that can monitor your health all the time and be able to predict if any kind of ailments are starting to develop in your body. That requires a lot of data processing from around the world. 5G and AI will play an important role in that. So 5G is key enabler of the artificial intelligence trends of the future, and it will unleash a lot of innovation. And when it comes to innovation, I think China has tremendous opportunity because it has opportunity for great scale and time to market of new solutions that can be experimented with large population and they can be fine-tuned on an ongoing basis. It's extremely important for innovation that innovation is encouraged, is unleashed when there is open markets, when there is free trade, when intellectual property is respected, and legal systems are set up in a fashion to promote appropriate use of intellectual property. So I'm very encouraged that at the TRUE session recently, the National People's Congress actually focused on foreign investment as well as intellectual property rights. This is very encouraging, I think, for the whole world, and what is going to be very important is to make sure that China is able to execute and implement successfully foreign investment and successfully resolve foreign investment issues as well as intellectual property rights. To close, I would just like to say that 5G is an exciting opportunity. It's an exciting opportunity to change the world, to democratize the world, the data that can be accessed from all around the world. And it is the responsibility of world's responsible economies as well as the community of businesses and the societies to make sure that we truly capture in most appropriate fashion the full potential of 5G and really truly enrich life of every human on this planet. Thank you.
谢谢凯莱特洛查先生，他的演讲呢，其实传递了一个重要信息，就是再次强调，低时延、高速度、多端点可能带来的革命性的变化。我特别喜欢他的一个比喻，就是 5G 是神经。
Fundamental change. 5G is the nerves, data is blood, storage is the heart. So we can say 5G is the coordination or the vein, in my understanding. But these all depend on an important framework to make this system functioning well. And Mr. Yang Yuanqing has been working in this profession for a long time, so we want to understand his perspective. So maybe the internet has been changing from services to the industry, so we want to know his perspective. Thank you. Welcome. Good afternoon. For the last time, I participated. CDRF was in 2017. Back then, we talked about smart terminal and smart internet. And back then, we were talking about trend. But for today, in a short span of 2 years, our imagination has come true. Smart terminal has developed from PC and mobile phone to an extent of connectivity of all the things. Smart IoT, edge computing, as well as big data, machine learning, these technologies have pushed forward the development and changes in every household and every industry. So we could see that if 2 years ago we were looking at the doorstep of the fourth industrial revolution, but now we are in the new era of smart transformation, and 5G will promote the digital era to a new stage. For the digital era, it relies on computing capacity, algorithm, as well as other technologies. And this will include 3 basic trends. We have 3 S. One is smart IoT. And from PC internet to mobile internet, we will have smart internet. And more smart terminals and sensors will emerge. They will generate a vast amount of data. Smart terminal will generate data, it is smart. And this will also contribute to the upgrading of the industry. And second, we have smart infrastructure. We will emerge from the traditional ones to the smart infrastructure. With data, we need to have supercomputing, cloud computing, and edge computing. We need this kind of strong computing capacity so that this data can be categorized, analyzed, and applied. And third, we focus on smart industry. All the industries need to have enhanced intelligence and machine intelligence to upgrade the current business model. So this is a trend for the future. And for this year, or today, we are at the starting point for the 5G commercialization. People know that 5G will bring about higher speed and shorter latency, but 5G is much more than that. 50% of application will be in the business sphere, and the smart era will be after the commercialization of the 5G. And for the smart era, the essence is for every industry to have smart operation and development. And 5G need to promote the computing infrastructure and vice versa. On the one hand, currently we have edge plus cloud computing, and this will contribute to the 5G network. And on the other hand, 5G network will upgrade edge and cloud computing to a higher level. In addition, 5G commercialization will promote IT, CT, communication technology, this kind of integrative development, so that we can make the next generation of wireless communication more open and flexible. And 5G will have more virtualization and network function. And 5G will bring about an unprecedented opportunity. More technology and telecommunication operator is planning for this. We will apply IT into the CT sphere. In the software-driven development, traditional high-cost telecommunications equipment will be replaced by standardized, network-oriented applications, so that the total structure of telecommunication may be disrupted fundamentally. And multiple operators have established an association in which Lenovo is a member, so that we can make the future internet structure to be more open and to be software-based. And 5G will also promote smart IoT so that we can have a smart development in this respect. And 5G connection has higher rate, low latency, and wider coverage. A lot of analysis and decision-making can be undertaken simultaneously, and digital terminals will be lighter. This will change the structure and form of the society, so that the smart IoT will enter into the fast track. In the future, computer bandwidth will be larger than the mobile phone, and machine bed and other traditional equipments in the hospitals will be smarter in the future. And the roads in cities, the workshops of factories, and the halls in the buildings will connect more sensors of internet. And these kind of sensors and equipment will generate a vast amount of data. And this data will be supported by edge computing and cloud computing. We have big data development. This data will be categorized and analyzed, and we will use smart algorithm to learn the decision-making process in the current industry. So we will help with certain value chain and certain scenarios so that we can have more efficient and more targeted result. And we have this kind of smart value. And for Lenovo, we have been working on this for a long time. And we also want to empower other enterprises to be more smart, to be smarter. And for our big data group, we are helping the petroleum enterprises to improve their refining process. And there are about 1,000 points of collecting information. Previously, we rely on skilled workers to control the temperature and pressure. And now we use smart internet to gather information through sensors. And then we have big data analysis. We will have better and optimized information. And the machine can automatically adjust and manage. We will help Wuhan oil and petroleum enterprises, so we can improve the efficiency by 0.9 to 1.5 percentage points. And for 5G application on the internet, we cooperate with Intel, and we have a smart storage platform. We use the ultra-high definition camera to gather the data, and we will have an AI analysis so that we can reduce the transportation time and we can make the logistics more targeted and precise. With the era of 5G commercialization, multiple applications will be integrated, and this will trigger multiple achievements. We hope that we can join hands to explore the new era of 5G and to contribute to the incoming digital era. Thank you. So he has introduced about cases of 5G application, which shows that 5G era will develop in terms of digital algorithm and computing power. And 5G will be a fundamental change. In the government work report, we have Smart Plus. And Mr. Yang has mentioned the conditions that we can have Smart Plus. 5G is a foundation. Thank you. Let's welcome Mass Graduate. And he is the Director General of GSMA. Let's welcome him.
Thank you so much for that introduction. I will not have any slides. It's nice and warm in here, so I hope everyone can stay awake. Thank you for inviting me, and this embracing the era of 5G. I think if you forget everything I say, remember one thing. It is not just about 5G. We call it intelligent connectivity, and I'll explain shortly what it is. But GSMA I might say a few words with GSMA. We're an association unifying all mobile operators. So we work with China Mobile, China Unicom, China Telecom, with Verizon, with Vodafone and the likes. And I'm very happy to see Mr. Young here, who is a member of GSMA, and also referring to Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, which is our show. In a couple of months' time, we'll have a show in Shanghai, which is also a Mobile World Congress show. So if I then will start, the mobile industry employs some 32 million women and men, directly and indirectly. And we generate some $2.9 trillion in economic value. Now, if the mobile ecosystem would be a country, we would be the 4th largest economy in the world, taking Germany's place. So with this great economic power comes great responsibility. Today, 2/3 of everyone on this planet are connected to a mobile phone. So some 5.1, 5.2 billion people are connected to the mobile service. Our technology, we serve the banking, utilities, manufacturing, automotive, entertainment, and retail industries, just to name a few. We are at the heart of the global industry, but we have an opportunity, and the opportunity is to become its soul too. We have an opportunity to build a better future for everyone. And here's how we're going to do it. By demonstrating leadership in 4 key areas. The first is leadership in technology. With the advent of intelligent connectivity, remember that, intelligent connectivity, as 5G, AI, Internet of Things, and big data converge. So intelligent connectivity is the sum of these 4 components. Number 2, leadership in security and trust through initiatives like the Digital Declaration and the full implementation of Mobile Connect. And 3, we must also lead by creating a regulatory framework that is fit for the digital future, a level playing field for all, so to say. And thirdly and fourthly, a leadership throughout society, not only via the prosperity that our industry brings, but also by our collective contribution to the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And that is the symbol I have here. So let's start with technology and intelligent connectivity. So let's start with 5G. 5G will of course bring faster and richer and more immersive entertainment. That will be critical to drive future revenue growth. If we look at 2025, there will be roughly 1.3 billion 5G connections. Today there's almost 0. 2025 will be 1.3 billion. China will be the undisputed leader with roughly 30%, or some 450 million 5G connections. So 5G and China is very linked together. But we will also see breakthroughs moments in tackling dementia, loneliness, and other mental health related issues. For example, 5G could see us use holograms to visit elderly, distant housebound relatives. But what about skills and education? Well, 5G has the power to be transformative there as well. 100 times better speed and lower latency will enable real-time distant collaboration. Now imagine vocational training, wanting to become a mechanic, plumber, or a medic. Now imagine doing it remotely with your teachers, maybe some thousands of miles away, whilst they show you how to fix that generator, standpipe, or broken bone. 5G will make that possible. The second area is artificial intelligence, AI. So we have 5G and we have AI. As consumers, we will go beyond using Google Home to simply play our favorite music, to a world where our digital personal assistants will know everything about us, from our taste in Netflix movies to our daily healthcare needs. And at an industry level, AI will deliver everything from network planning to operations and logistics to customer care and security. The third part of intelligent connectivity is Internet of Things. Driverless cars will be connected to smart streets that will be joined by smart homes and smart offices that will be connected together to bring us smart cities. All will drive efficiency, productivity, and help us use the finite resources more effectively. It is therefore critical that we move from just connectivity to intelligent connectivity. The best way to see into the future of intelligent connectivity is to start imagineering right now when we're on 4G. If you direct your business needs to these opportunities, not only will you be in the front row when the 5G live stream green, you will also maximize your investments in 4G. The fourth area is big data. It is already helping to save lives and bring greater prosperity to remote communities. Let me just show you one example. Tuberculosis, TB, kills more people than any other infectious disease in the world, with India worst affected. Take a look at this group. The same number of people in this auditorium plus several other thousands. In fact, 4,800 people, roughly, die every day from tuberculosis. But by examining movement patterns using digital data, we can now predict with some certainty where the next outbreak will happen, which means that we can launch awareness campaigns and treatment centers before the actual outbreak takes hold. There are many, many other good examples of big data for social good on the GSMA website, so I urge you all to go and check that out. When we combine 5G, AI, big data, and Internet of Things, the possibilities for intelligent connectivity are nearly endless. When we combine them from good, the results are both life-affirming and quite literally life-saving. It is an exciting future that we have in front of us. The 5G era, the intelligent connectivity era, will certainly change the way that we live, we conduct business, and prosper in this future world. We do need to discuss and we do need to collaborate around technology, around security, and networking technology. With those words, thank you very much.
Thank you. You have taken the perspective of GSMA. The operators have been fully prepared. We have intelligent connectivity. They are confident. But we know that there are multiple stake players, such as suppliers of equipment and devices. Also, the terminal manufacturers will also have governments. So, from graduate, 5G era will be better than yesterday, but we also face other challenges, so we need to take a broader perspective. Now, let's welcome academician Wu Manqing to bring us a broader perspective for this respect. I'm very delighted to participate in today's conference. Upon getting the invitation, I have been thinking on this issue. How can I personally welcome the era of 5G? We have multiple 5G technologies. We can take multiple perspectives, the industry, the technology, and the future. But the fundamental thing is about convenience and connectivity, faster connectivity, shorter latency, wider coverage. If we have this kind of connectivity, the world will be terminal to terminal, intelligently connected enterprise. So if we do not translate enterprise as company, enterprise, it is a kind of undertaking for the future. If the future is connected, what are the features for such an era? In my opinion, there are several features. The future may be a combination of very small and very big events. So we have connectivity, therefore we have multiple nodes and connections. On the internet, we have expanding internet. We have more and more connectivity, and the value of internet and connectivity will be increasing along with more nodes And then the world have more nodes, and the world will be smaller and smaller, more and more standardized. So the world will be smaller and bigger, all at the same time. And behind that, we have a fundamental principle that can support us for future development. And second, I think that we have the alignment of the physical and the virtual world. We cannot tell that in the future whether we will be living in a physical or a virtual world. And we are actually migrating into a virtual or digital world. We feel that we have segmented reading. We do not have much thinking. Maybe we are chatting with everyone, but we do not have the face-to-face communication with our relatives. So this is a strange or curious phenomenon. So we are the combination of the virtual and physical world. If we want to view this era, we focus on cyberspace, or in Chinese we say the space on the internet. And cyberspace cannot represent the whole we want to talk about. And thirdly, we want to say that in the future we have a lot of expectations and we have a lot of concerns. On the one hand, we need to embrace the era of 5G. We are discussing more about the advantages and benefits of the 5G era. We focus on the change on the economy, society, people's lives. But I have more concerns. For instance, we have faster connectivity, faster connection. We have shorter latency, but we may be afraid. We may be pressured. We do not have those unrevealed life, unrevealed happiness. And in the whole process, we have hidden risks. The multiple connectivity, the connectivity of all things, also mean we have the connectivity of risks, and we do not have substantial research on this risk connectivity. With multiple risks being connected, maybe we have the changes that is beyond our control. We still have certain concern on this respect. And maybe in the future we have better expectation, but we still have increasing concern. And last, I think that this is from my personal feeling. So we have the interwoven development, which is fast and slow all at the same time. We have fast changes. We have the development of multiple technologies. We have digital technology, internet technology, as well as intelligent technology. We have the convergence of multiple technologies. And we also focus on disruptive technologies, and so that we know that changes are fast. But for this era, maybe the changes are slow. I don't know whether you feel the same way. We do not know at what juncture we will enter into the 5G era. We do not know the specific juncture that we stop writing a letter, we stop sending postcards, we use the WeChat instead. So this kind of process is a slow change. We do not know the specific juncture. So with these fast and slow junctures, we enter into an era of internet-linked development. So I want to use Robert Glad's words. We cannot say something will not happen in the future, because the ideal of yesterday has become today's reality, and today's ideal will be tomorrow's reality. If we want to embrace a 5G future, we think that we need to join hands and to work together to create a better future for the 5G, so that we can embrace or accept the future of 5G. We can tackle the challenges and instead create a happier and more developed future. So this is out of the top of my head on my consideration. Thank you. From academician Wu's sharing, we have noticed a kind of nostalgia for the 4G age. Although 5G has not come, we need to say goodbye to 4G. But there is also a kind of willingness or hope that we hope that 5G will come faster. And we hope that 5G will bring even larger and more fundamental changes. And in our inner mind, maybe we still have a slow adjustment to the new era, so we need to apply and adjust ourselves to the current trend of the world. 5G has come, so we need to be better prepared. Thank you, Academician Wu, and as time is limited, for this session, we know it is welcome among the delegates. We have the people standing there. Maybe you have certain questions. And I have checked with the organizer. You can have face-to-face, one-to-one discussion with the speakers. And to save the time, maybe I will summarize the question. So I hope we can have a quick response. First, I want to address to the Mr. Sanjay Mahrota. So 5G is about the whole industrial chain, and Micron is an important supplier of equipment and devices. So what is your view on the whole industrial chain, and do you think the whole industrial chain is prepared?
I definitely think that the production environment in the world is ready to embrace 5G. In our factories today, we of course have a lot of data that we are looking at that is being generated by the machines, by the manufacturing equipment in our factories. And 5G will definitely enable faster connection and deeper insights into that data, enabling us to achieve better yield, better productivity, better cycle time from the same equipment with the same capital expenditures that we make into the fabs. So I do think that the infrastructure of equipment suppliers as well as tool providers, software solutions providers will all collaborate and is eager to collaborate to make 5G a reality. And again, 5G for us is very exciting because whether you look at the example of smart factories, or you look at smart cities, or you look at smart home, whether it is in the cloud or it is devices on the edge, it's really all about data. And more data gets created by more and more intelligent devices, and then more and more intelligence in the cloud. With all the AI algorithms, it actually makes a virtuous cycle from cloud to tens of billions of intelligent devices at the edge. With the backbone of 5G and AI, it's a virtuous cycle that enables more data creation, more deeper insights, more intelligent devices at the edge, in the factories, yes, but really billions of devices in all aspects of life. So I do think that as 5G rolls on over the course of the next several years, it will absolutely create tremendous opportunity for greater productivity, new business models, and new experiences for humans across the globe.
谢谢三位。第二个问题是想提这个联想集团杨总，因为你刚才已经讲到了。
Is addressed to Mr. Yang from Lenovo. You have mentioned very important scenarios. People think about scenarios. In your expectation, what are the most important 3 scenarios for 5G application? And 5G is expected to bring about convergence of industries. What are the most promising aspects? So we say that we focus on road and transportation. People talk about auto driving, and auto driving needs to rely on 5G for the high speed and low latency technology. On the other hand, we think of the manufacturing sphere. We focus on machine bed equipment management. So for these kind of factories, we may install more sensors, and machines will become more intelligent. We can have better calculation. The modules will be optimized. With 5G, we can connect all the devices and equipment. We can have big data analysis, so decision-making will be more timely and precise. So this is the second scenario. And the third is about in the community or people's daily life. In every community, we will have the 5G installation so that you can enjoy the video or entertainment through 5G. You have smoother experience. We have cloud and edge in combination. So these are the things that I can think of. And for two industries, first I will say manufacturing. For the current level, we can say manufacturing will apply 5G. We have smart IoT. We have edge computing. And these kind of things all rely on 5G. And second, I will choose education. Education will be a promising aspect for a wider application of 5G technology. As time is limited, we have the time for one last question. The question is addressed to mass graduate. For 5G, we have an increasing importance for international cooperation. So you are from the largest association of operators. So if you want to give an advice to the government of the US, China, and the EU, what are your suggestions?
That's a good one. To work together. This time, 4G is the first time in history we have had the same standard. 2G was different, 1G was different, 3G we have different standards, 4G we had the same standard. And based on that, we achieved scale, we got interoperability, cost came down, and quality of service came up. And I urge 5G, 6G, and future generations to work together and make sure that we have one common platform. That is it.
So would you like to add more sharing to your previous comment? Academician Wu. So privacy is very important. And for a nation, the infrastructure also faces challenges in terms of security. So in the 5G era, we need to concentrate on these aspects. If I want to add one thing, maybe we have data trash, the junk data. If you focus on big data, you need to go through all the junk to find the valuable things. So maybe big data can bring about an overwhelming amount of data. Thank you. Thank you for the excellent speeches. 5G has come. Although we may be nostalgic, but we are heading towards a new era. Thank you.
Back to CGTN Digital's Live, and the meeting and the panelist discussion on 5G themed as embracing the 5G technology in new era has just wrapped it up. And then like I mentioned at the beginning of this live stream, I've jotted down a few points and mentioned it during the discussion by various panelists. They're quite interesting, but still the tone of the discussion is very, very positive, because they're about amazing things that will happen but not yet happened in the future. For example, about 5G technologies, the most important thing is it's faster. And in China, we have this saying that the quantitative change eventually will bring about the qualitative change. And the key thing is about this very, very fast speed is going to bring about a reshaping of the manufacturing, which means the automation that is on the basis of a mass amount of data it could be possible using the fifth generation of the technology, which means that in the future the automation of the manufacturing is going to be very, very, very fast and closer to our life. For example, the self-driving cars has actually been discussed. Oh, sorry for stopping a little bit. Can you introduce a little bit to our audiences? We're from China Global Television Network, and we're doing a live stream event of this discussion. And I've now reciting a few key points from the discussion. But can you tell me, sir, how should I address you?
Dr. Dosani.
And you are from?
I'm from the RAND Corporation in the United States.
And what is the most important thing you got from the discussion?
Well, I went in looking to try and see what is the difference between 5G and 4G. And how soon will 5G come, when will it finish off, what will replace it, what can you do with it that you can't do with other things with current technology.
Because I've been telling my audiences and all the followers of the CGTN platform that 5G is going to be tremendously faster than 4G generation. How faster can it be?
So, they're saying you can see movies better, but already in 4G you can see movies quite well. So I didn't get a clear sense of what the difference is going to be. What does 100 times faster actually mean? Or in healthcare or in education, what does it really mean? I didn't get that. I was looking for that.
But you sound you're not very confident about this.
I'm not. I didn't get what I wanted to hear.
That's quite different from the tone, the tone of the discussion. So
I'm an academic. I question everything.
So you don't think it's going to be as fast as people?
No, I didn't say I didn't think. I said I didn't hear what I wanted to hear. So they were not able to give any explanation of how it's going to be different.
Why is it important?
It's very important because today if I can see movies well on 4G, why do I need 5G? What can I do that I cannot do with 4G?
Are you suggesting that because of the consumer, maybe I see there's no point for me to adapt it to this new technology at all because it's all the same to me?
Well, that's what I want to find out, I mean, every technology people question and then it actually delivers more than you expect. I was hoping to hear some of that vision here. I didn't hear that.
Okay, but maybe next time.
Maybe next time, yeah. Optimistic.
Like I said, I heard they're saying that maybe all the promises that the 5G gave us eventually will be realized when we have 6G. Right?
Good one. Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. Thank you. We just have a different opinion from them. Okay, now we have another interview. Nice to meet you, sir. It's an amazing speech.
Good to meet you.
Can you introduce yourself to the audience of CGTN, China Global Television Network, please?
I'm Sanjay Marotra. I'm the president and CEO of Micron Technology. We are headquartered out of Boise, Idaho in USA, but we are a global company, 34,000 people worldwide with 3,000 people right here in China.
Can you tell us briefly what the key things that the company does?
The Micron Technology is the fourth largest semiconductor company in the world based on our fiscal year 2018 results. We make memory and storage products. We make DRAM and flash. We are a 40-year-old company. We have invested billions of dollars in R&D with 40,000 patents worldwide.
I think it's just my luck to have a representative from the industry to speak for us, because I just talked to an academic, and he said he wasn't very pleased with what he just heard from the discussion, because he tried to find out a difference between how fast the 5G, the fifth generation technology than the fourth. Because for ordinary consumers, if I can watch a movie online already as fast as I can do today. So why do I still need the 5G at all?
Well, 5G is 100 times faster. 5G will also enable many more connections. 5G will have the bandwidth to be able to have tens of billions of devices, worldwide. By some estimates, over the course of next many years, it can be trillion devices. So many, many devices, that it has the bandwidth to be able to provide data with low latency, high speed. It will be experiences on your phone. You will be able to watch 4K video transmission games that you will be played in a stadium. You can watch on your phone from any angle that you desire. Okay, so that's just one example, but 5G is not just about mobile phones. 5G will enable connectivity, machine to machine communication that will really provide tremendous intelligence of artificial intelligence among various devices on the edge, including autonomous vehicles of the future.
Forgive me for asking, because I've been getting that data everywhere, but they always say that the 100 times as fast as the 4G technology always has a precondition before it. It says in laboratory environment, but in reality, in real world environment, maybe the speed is not as fast as that. Are you concerned by that?
No, I'm not. I mean, a lot of innovation is happening in this space, and over the course of next several years, I'm very confident that 5G will unleash many, many new inventions, many new applications. It will not be just about 5G in mobile phones, but it will be 5G in many devices on the edge, whether it's your smart home, smart cities, smart factories. 5G will really truly enrich life in all walks, including healthcare, including education, including experiences that people will be able to enjoy all around the world, and it will become accessible over the course of next several years to humans all around the world to enrich life.
Can you tell us, sir, because we know in 2000 we finally had 3G, and 11 years later we have 4G, and now we have 5G, but it doesn't feel like I can feel fifth generation everywhere. So how long further before we can get something that we can use it on my iPad or can use it on my phone? What is your prediction?
Yeah. Of course, you will not feel 5G just yet because 5G devices are not out yet. 5G will start to come out in 2020. Very small penetration this year, but 2020 onwards, and it will be a driver in technology for next many, many years.
My last question, sir, and I know you're in a bit hurry. My last question is, I get this saying, and it's quite interesting. It says that everything that 5G promised maybe eventually, will be realized by the 6G. Do you agree with that?
Well, I'm confident that innovations will not stop in mankind just with 5G. Of course, over the course of next several years, next many years, there will be more innovations. But the world will change with 5G and AI, the paradigm of innovations that will change life, businesses, health, and all industries will change with 5G.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Well, I think that just answered a few enough questions, because we know that the 5G is, somebody say that the 5G is today, some say it is tomorrow, but it really cannot tell the difference between, they cannot draw a line between, we don't have a timeline for development of 5G, because it's like it's a bit personal experience. My experience with 3G and with the 5G, they were so old. I cannot even remember my feeling. And when I first used the smartphone as one with the 4th generation technology, but maybe that is what is going to happen in the future, that gradually, without anybody else knowing that eventually our life is going to be merged with the 5G technology. And that's why the China Development Forum holds such a panelist discussion. And that's why that into the future, we are going to have discussion and debates around this technology. We cannot simply let it happen to a life without knowing it. We need to mark every step towards eventually having this technology in our life, because like so many panelists have said, this technology has the power of shifting and changing our life from nearly every aspect. Just imagine, just try to associate your experience with what happened to you after the fourth generation communication technology had entered your life. Because its consequences, impact are going to be comprehensive, going to be very, very thorough. So we need to mark and record every change it brings about, and we need to analyze it. We need to process it like we process all the data collected from our life, to make sure that all the benefits we can reap from the fifth generation technology, and well, trying to, as best as we can, to steer away from the problems and the issues associated with an unknown technology that has a greater future and influence on our life. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you for staying with the CGTN. And because the China Development Forum is a 3-day event, and tomorrow we will bring you more coverages on the event. And for a live stream branch, tomorrow we will have a discussion about the financial policies in China and its influence and its impact globally. And stay tuned to CGTN to read more stories online, as well as watching television broadcasting about this event, as well as other big international headlines. I'm Ding Yang in Beijing at Diaoyutai State Guest House. Thank you for your time. I'll see you next time.